Hi everyone, I'm Shumei, and today I'm going to introduce you an artwork. The illustrator is the Major Scare. She's really famous. She's not really famous, but her artwork is actually inspiring me. And so the beginning, I'm going to tell about the background history of this artwork. In Greek mythology, Zeus gave Pandora a box. She opens the box and relieves the evil, disaster, sadness, and resentment, so on. Until the end, it was a hope. And so, as you can see, the subject is a work, is the moment that Pandora opens the box and release a bunch of demons represent humans' desire. So let me point out some the main objects. Firstly, Pandora is floating on the air, and there's a box in her hands, and many human-like creatures are flying from the box and floating in the air. And there are 36 people, including Pandora, in this artwork. And Pandora's shadow is reflecting on the ground, and the background of the artwork is really dark and vast. Let me show you some of the details. Firstly, in this artwork, there is an obvious boundary between the backspace and the ground, and Pandora's shadow mirrored on the ground is really clear. And Pandora has ankle-length hair, which tile is curl inwards, and she wears a elegant long dress, and is like an invert job. Her eyes is looking up, and her hands are holding a box. The lid of the box is open. In the smoke area, there are 35 people, which represent mortal beings, and the smoke has three main parts. The upper part is is an old man with bearded face, whose hand is open as if he is trying to grab something. His expression is peaceful, and there are some other faces which are painted in dark color and close to him. And these faces are really old, so this part of art depicts a sense of old age and death. And the middle part mainly depicts Beethoven and a young woman. There are some other people are objects like soldiers, pianists, movie stars, and animals. Beethoven holds a script in one hand and the other hand extending forward. His legs are clasped by someone else. The young woman's left hand is outstretched as if she is trying to protect or stop something. In this part, there are 29 people, and there's also a biggest part. They have really tense posture. Look at their dim face, they are crying and screaming, hopeless and scared. They are struggling with life and trying to survive. And the ending part represents hope, a reunion couple. The man opens his arm and trying to hug his wife. We can see a smile on the wife's face, and it is the only smile face in this artwork. And there's a little boy with wings, maybe their songs, and he is curling in the shadow. And we can also see the Medusa in Greek mythology in this artwork. It's at the far right. Then I'm going to talk about the elements of this artwork. Firstly, the artwork is almost made up of curvy lines, wave lines, frame lines, and spiral lines. These lines compose gesture lines which stretch people's body. At the bottom, the horizontal lines goes from left to right to bound the background. And then we put these lines together, we can see a lot of three-dimensional forms like cone, cylindrical, and spherical. These fundamentals from people's body. And in this artwork, the artist used blue as the main color. The darker value of blue, which is navy blue, as a background, and the lighter value of cyan, which is mixture of green and blue colors as a highlight of the smoke area. In between these scales, the artist used many colors from different levels of value between navy blue and cyan, like dark violet and dark cyan, as well as a small quantity of purple. And in Pandora's part, the artist used really high light value and light trauma blue, purple, which is lilac purple, to paint her hair, and bright surface, and uses low value and low chrome purple to paint her dark surface, and use low saturated red as intermediate color. The artist also used really deep color to paint the ground and distinguishes the ground from the background with a slightly brighter gray. And the texture of this painting is really sculpture science in Pandora part. It seems not smooth but kind of frosty, especially the bright surface in smoke area. It's like crayon painting texture and some kind of granular science. And next, I'm going to talk about the principles of the artwork. Firstly, when I saw this painting, the first thing to see is the second layer of the smoke, which part of is also brightest part of the painting. And after that, I saw the old man's face on the top, and moved to the bottom layer of the smoke to the ending. I saw Pandora, and the smoke area is the emphasized part of the painting, because all the highlight color are concentrated in this area. And although it has a three-dimension feeling, because the painter used high statured color and low stature color to distinguish the front and the behind of the space, these people seems closer to us because they have the brighter color, and the people in opposite, the people seem in distance because they are painted with a low chrome color. For the variety and unity, I think when we focus on the details of the painting, we can see many people in the smoke area, which is made up of 35 people, and their movement and expressions are different. Some people are crying, some are meditating, some are struggling, and some are indignant. But all these varieties faces all have same emotions. They seem to be enveloped in grief and pain. And for the pattern, I think we can start it from the lines perspective. The smoke area takes a large proportion of the painting, and in which there are lots of curving lines and free lines. These different lines compose a large spiral lines like a tornado floating from the box. And for the balance and harmony, it uses intermediate composition method, from the shadow of Pandora on the top of the smoke as small objects are scattered from the middle vertical lines. So the structure and proportion is really neat. On the other hand, the color of the painting is also clean and simple because it just uses many kinds of blue and purple with different grayscale. Next interpretation. The painting is full of misery for me, and really beautiful, emotional, but sentimental. Pandora's face doesn't have any panic or surprise when she opened the box, but just a calm. She seemed to try to look for something, but we don't know. The reason why I have this feeling because this color, because the color and her position, she's floating on the ground. All around is dark and empty. Her body just like a small proportion of the film, and that makes a feeling of lonely and sadness. And for the color, although the lightest part is still in cold color and the whole painting uses cold tone, these elements make the painting has such emotion. And finally, judgment. According to static theories, this work definitely has emotion qualities. Every expression except the young woman is full of distress and sorrow, which means human tragedy. And the color the artist uses is also really cold. These elements both represent the emotion respect aspect of the artwork. So I think it is a successful painting. As for me, when I look at this work, I think this work that I'm able to describe all the elements and principles of design. They are really vivid and detailed. Based on that, I think it's successful, and it has artistic merit, especially the smiling face on the young woman, will symbolize hope, and that enriches the whole work emotion. Thank you very much.